Welcome back to another episode of Ask the Experts. I'm Steve Strum. I'm sitting here with Ted White from Vertical Talent Solutions. How are you today, sir?
Steve, I'm great. How are you?
Yeah, you know what? Doing okay. It is another beautiful day here in Florida. I think if I'm not correct, you're coming to us from Connecticut. How is life up that way? Are you guys out of winter yet?
Oh, yeah. Today it feels like Florida. It's a
There you
beautiful
go.
spring day, the kind of
Well,
day that you look forward to all year.
I know how that goes. I got, it's about as close as I can get to being a convertible without being a convertible. Today is like one of the few days you can actually do that here before the bugs come out. So, certainly not here to talk about weather. We are here to talk about your company, which is Vertical Talent Solutions. So, for the folks that don't know what that is, tell us a little bit about your firm.
Vertical Talent Solutions is a specialty IT recruiting firm. We're headhunters in the managed service provider industry, known as MSPs. We recruit system engineers, admins, and techs at like level two, level three for MSPs that are looking to build their pipeline. And on the other hand, we also work with the candidates to find MSPs within a 25-mile radius of where they're located.
So for the folks that are like, what the heck is an MSP? There's two different places that technology folks get recruited into. One is the MSP, and I think the other one you had mentioned offset was enterprise. What is the difference between the two of those for somebody who's watching this going, okay, does that fit me? They may not know what it is that you do based off of the acronym, but could you help our audience kind of understand what those differences are and what you do?
Yeah, absolutely. It starts with so for people that are a good fit for the MSP industry, it starts with their own personality. Are you a troubleshooter? Are you somebody that knows how to fix everything that breaks? And you've kind of been that way your whole life. You can put things together. You can, do carpentry or even work on cars and just kind of figure it out. If you're that type of person that figures things out, doesn't want to hire someone to do it until later on in life, then you're a troubleshooter and you belong in the MSP industry. It's very rewarding when you're a troubleshooter to constantly fix things, learn new things, and figure things out. And when you're paid to do that accordingly, it's a really, really strong, strong career for troubleshooting minded people. Um, when you have companies that are built that way on strong foundations of core values and things, then that's when it gets really interesting. And what they do with the MSPs is they outsource their IT services to small and medium-sized businesses mostly, so that like a company like mine, we don't have to build our own IT person. We don't have to hire an IT person. We just outsource it. We outsource the cybersecurity to one of my customers.
And so your job is to find good quality candidates that can help basically something goes sideways in the technology. And we live in such a technologically driven industry. I mean, we have certainly entered into what people might think of as a fourth industrial revolution. The third one being the advent of the computer, and then the fourth one being this AI business, right? We are absolutely in a technology based industry, which means that there's a lot of computation going on and there is a lot of integration. So you help recruit to those men and women that when something goes sideways at the office, where all of a sudden your laptop doesn't connect to the printer, that doesn't connect to the scanner, that doesn't connect to the DocuSign, that doesn't be able to go around the world twice and get from Florida to Connecticut in 5 seconds, the people that you hire are those that help us from the backbone side to make sure that all of those buttons and switches, for lack of a better word, are in alignment as well as being secure so the bad guys don't get a hold of what could be sensitive data. Is that kind of sort of what we're talking about?
Yeah, that's very, very well said. I am the recruiter who will place those types of people into organizations that fit their personality.
So you talk about personality. Now, I have some engineer brains in my family. I have an engineer brain. This personality here, though, this is my mother all day long. But I have a lot of engineer brains in my family, and although not mutually exclusive to engineering, sometimes soft skills can be a little bit lacking compared to other people. I think about one of my kiddos. one of the smartest young men I've ever met. And, he's not being a jerk. He's just so far out there mentally ahead of us that whenever he talks, it's almost like he's annoyed because he catches up. In the job recruiting space, is that something that you see with your recruits, and how do you help those guys mitigate it? Because those men and women watch the show going, man, I could use this guy because I know I've got the skill set. I may not be able to babble like a Steve Strum can, but man, I got the skill set that I can fix. I can get the Falcon 5 Heavy to get caught with a giant pair of salad tongs. How do you help find that guy or girl to that job, knowing that sometimes there may be a little bit of social awkwardness just given the brain type of that type of a recruit?
It starts with the process. It's kind of similar to looking for gold. You get you do some outreach to candidates that look qualified, that are highly qualified. They don't jump around. They've been in the industry a while, and they have the level of experience that we're looking for. So you reach out to the best of the best already. And when you get them on a call, depending on how the communication goes back and forth up to the point where you get them on a call, if they're reasonable and they're responsive and they're interested and they're being genuine and they hit on all, most of our core values, we get them on a call. And if at any point they are rude or they're not interested, we're happy to end the conversation right then and there. But we will not try to coerce people into being polite. That's just kind of what one of our cutoffs is. Just don't be rude.
I understand. I understand. So, what are you seeing as far as industry trends with your providing of you? I believe you referred to that as an MSP fulfillment. What do you see the trends in the workforce population demographics changing that you're recruiting to?
There's no trend necessarily like there is in corporate America, I'm sure, with people retiring. It's a trend as the expectation mostly for earlier career individuals who want to work remote, and even people that may be in the mid part of their career, they want to work remote. They want to get out of their job right now. Hey, Ted, if you have a remote job, let me know. I quickly tell them remote's not as there's not as much of a percentage of remote opportunities right now as there used to be, and you get paid a lot less, and it's a lot more risky to take a remote job when they can just figure, well, if you're remote in the US, why not hire you remote in the Philippines or India or somewhere that's relatively inexpensive. So it's a risky position, which is why we want to work with candidates that we can identify really awesome companies within 25 miles of where they live. Just even if it turns into hybrid, they're right there.
So if one of your next recruiting calls comes from this video, what's that one thing that you want to leave with that man or woman that's watching this saying, you know what? Yeah, I need to give Ted a call.
Get ready for the best experience that you can imagine. If you're looking for, whether you're a candidate looking for a good career discussion and a little bit of support, or you're a company that just needs some guidance, especially in MSP, you like some guidance, and if we like each other and you think we'd want to do some business, let's do some business.
So what we'll do is we'll make sure to put your links on our website, which is thedailynewsnetwork.com, and make sure that everybody who's out there could take a look, see where they may fit, whether it's employers or employee candidates, and really appreciate what you're doing for the community around the country, both nationally and then, like you said, within 25 miles of their spot, finding them a job that's meaningful and gives them an opportunity to progress in their own career. So thank you so much for joining us today. And for the audience that's watching this today, thank you so much for watching. If you like this episode or know somebody that could benefit from a TED, share this episode. Check us out on thedailynewsnetwork.com, and remember to always live with gratitude.